Hey guys, well after being away from the camera for so long, I'm finally ready to get back. So today will just be a couple of little tag challenge videos, a couple of small videos just to get me back up and running. I'm currently going through my YouTube books and all, trying to find some good ideas. There's some good ideas I find for content I want to create, and then there's a couple of other ideas I have. So anyway, this tag is the book tag, because I love reading. Like, I don't care if we live in an age of technological development and rapidly expanding technological device, or just the age of technology, let's call it. Like, I still enjoy a good book, and whilst I know ebooks are supposed to be better for the environment, which I don't care, I still love a good physical book. Because you know what? I love the physical thing, holding a book. And just, it's better than looking at a screen all the time. But good for the eyes. So anyway, this is a book tag. It's more a book tag about reading habits. There are other book tags, like there's actually a good classic book tag I find that I can't wait to do, so I'm really going to do that one. So this is a book tag about sort of like reading habits that are just sort of about reading in general. So guys, here we go. The book tag. Now, if you see me look down, I've got my questions in front of me. So number one, do you have a specific place for reading? It depends really. Sometimes I'd read here or in the drawing room if it's quiet when there's no one in the house. But when people are in the house and the TV's on and someone's got the music on, I prefer to go and sit in my bed and in my room and just chill out in my bed and read a book. My book, so that's what I like to do, yep. Number two, bookmark or random pieces of paper. Bookmark I prefer, but if I'm reading more than one book at a time, I have to use little scraps of paper. But I generally prefer a bookmark. Number three, can you stop anywhere or must it be at the end of a chapter? In all honesty, I prefer to stop at the end of a chapter. I don't like stopping in the middle of one. Like, even if I'm in a rush to go somewhere, I haven't got time, I try to read to get, because I think it's more organised. I'm a little OCD about this. I prefer to get to the end of a chapter. Okay, number four, do you eat or drink whilst reading? If I'm reading, I like a nice hot cup of tea or coffee, sometimes a nice slice of chocolate cake, or a bar of chocolate. I love to eat chocolate whenever I'm reading an Agatha Christie novel for some reason. I love having either a chocolate bar or a nice slice of chocolate, because actually in one of her books there's a chocolate cake called Delicious Death, and it's Agatha Christie, so there you go. Right, so number five, music or TV whilst reading? Neither. I need complete silence when I'm reading, because how am I supposed to focus on what's going on, or the character descriptions, or what's happening? Like, it would just drive me mad. I couldn't do that. Number six, one book at a time or several? It depends really. Sometimes I can be in the middle of a book that's really boring, and then I start the next book I'm going to read because there's more exciting and more happening in it. So it depends. Although I still would try and finish off the bad book. I don't like to leave a book unread, so it depends. So sometimes it could be more than one book at a time. Okay. Number seven, do you prefer to read at home or elsewhere? I like to bring my book with me. I could always like to look at my phone. I like to bring a book with me, but of course it can depend on what kind of a book it is. If it's a big, bulky, heavy book, I can't put it in my bag. So probably I would read home. But if it's a nice portable, like a nice little paperback like that, that's small and can fit into my bag, yeah, then I'll bring that, and I'll probably read that on the bus or while I'm in the train waiting on someone or something. So there you go. Number eight, read out loud or silently. Read out loud or silently. I read silently. Could you imagine me reading a book out loud in the middle of public? Like, once upon a time there was a magical land called this, or the story of Harry Potter. Like, I would draw some very strange looks. Not that I don't already. Number nine, do you read ahead or skip pages? I don't really do either, I think. So I just read the book normally. I don't like to skip pages, because then you can easily skip a page, and then get into a shocking revelation that you're reading up to. So I read normally. I wouldn't read ahead. Okay. Number 10, break the spine or keep it like new. And by spine, it means book spine, in case you're wondering. Like, say that a hardback. Well, I suppose it'll depend. If I'm trying to read it sometimes, and sometimes I want to squeeze it more, I have to push it back a bit more, then I could break the spine. Sure, a book's a book. That's what it's there for. Number 11. Do you write in your books? Certainly not. Although if I'm reading a crime novel, or like when I'm reading one of Robert Galbraith or J.K. Rowling's crime novels, and you're meeting all the suspects, I've started now making a list. I make a list of all the suspects. I don't write or highlight the names. I make a list of them so I can remember who that character is. So I would more make lists. I wouldn't write in my book. So just no, I wouldn't write in it. Number 12. What books are you reading now? Well, currently, guys, I'm in the middle of reading. I must get back to reading it. It is this book. It is called We'll Always Have Casablanca, The Life, the Legend, and Afterlife of Hollywood's Most Beloved Movie. So it's a book about the making of the movie Casablanca, which is one of the greatest romantic films of all time. And it's giving you it's about the conception of the story, the making of the film, casting choices, all that sort of thing. So it's all about that. And there's some great stories about on behind the set. So it's a really good book. I can't wait to get back to reading it. Okay. Number 13. Favourite childhood book. I couldn't specifically yet say a favourite childhood book. When I was a kid, I used to love the stories of Harry Potter and Roald Dahl. I loved Roald Dahl. I still have a big shelf of Roald Dahl books because I don't care how old I am. I love his books. I think he's just one of the best writers out there. His stories are just so creative and imaginative, and they just flow off the page. And that's what a good book for a child should do. So basically, it's a chance to say, if your child is using their phone too much, give them a book. Reading's better than spending all the day on your phone. Okay, number 14. All-time favourite book. I haven't exactly compiled a list of all my favourite books yet. That's something I really want to do, but I love books like, I love the Stephen King books, I love Roald Dahl, Agatha Christie. I also love stuff like Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte and all that sort of stuff, and I like a good few classic novels, and so there's a range of things, but I'm going to try and maybe at some point compile a list. So, anyway, guys, that is this tag challenge done. I hope you enjoyed it, and it's encouraged you to think, maybe I'm spending too much time on my phone, maybe I need to start reading a book. So, if it has encouraged you to read a book, then good for you. If it hasn't, then shame on you. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video, and like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay? Thanks. Bye.